Next, we have one of the candidates for governor here, our current Lieutenant Governor, Burt Jones. Please come on up. Absolutely.
Hey. I'm going to get down here real quick. Thank you. Good morning. This crowd's got a little energy in here. Good gracious. Kevin, you got them warmed up here. You might want to get the offering plate, send it around after that one now. That's good. It's good to be here. I just came from Blairsville, Georgia. We were up there and had a big crowd there, and we were excited about that, and I'm glad to be here today. This is a little different spot than where we were, I guess, just a few years ago. We were downtown Gainesville last time, weren't we, Alex? Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't remember. He's still in college then. So, but it's good to be here. And I guess we probably got some of the most informed voters in here, right in this room right now, right? Right. So I probably don't need to really get into a long stump speech about, what we're going to do, because everybody's already copied what I said we were going to do from the start, and they're just using it for everybody, right? So everybody's talking about eliminating state income tax, property tax, and public safety, educational, all those opportunities. Look, I'm telling you, I told somebody the other day, and obviously in voter integrity too, told somebody the other day, best way to tell what somebody's going to do in the future is just look what they've done in the past, right? In 4 years I've been lieutenant governor, we've lowered the state income tax all 4 years. I'd like to see us go to zero. Property tax, 2 years ago, we capped property taxes in the Senate. The House didn't take it up, but now they're ready to talk about property taxes this year. All right, and it needs to happen. We're going to cap property taxes. Forever, Republicans have been talking about wanting to pass school choice, right? Wanting educational opportunities, put more power in the parents, right? Well, we got it done last year for the first time ever, right? And then also people were talking about we're going to take on these social issues, some of these fights that were national fights, but they end up becoming state and local fights, boys and girls sports, transgender operations for minors, that kind of stuff. Guess what? We took up those issues too in my time as lieutenant governor. Religious liberty, something we've talked about for over 10 years in our groups. We did that last year as well. And I'll tell you, all these things that we've talked about as conservative, and also voter integrity. Guys, they tried to put me in jail. You can't say I didn't stand up for voter integrity. Old Fannie Willis, she came after me pretty hard, Janelle, And I did call her Fannie. Because where I'm from, F-A-N-I spells Fannie, You can't pronounce it any other way. When she got on the national scene, she's like, we'll call it Fannie. We'll call her Fannie. No, it's Fannie. It's F-A-N-I, Fannie. So, all right. But anyways, 2.5 years I fought with her. And then I was the first one to win in court, and she still ended up trying to indict those folks, but all that got dismissed. But the whole time I've been lieutenant governor, I've been trying to work with our Secretary of State. And if there is a silver lining about this race for governor, it's the fact it's going to give us a new Secretary of State, right? Right. Because I have tried and tried and tried. In fact, 2 years ago, we passed get rid of the QR codes, right? Those little QR codes. Probably people have them on their campaign flyers, right? And so when we passed it, the Secretary of State's office came back to us and said, "Well, we need some money for it." I was like, "Okay, how much you need?" $66 million. I said, "Here's a pair of scissors and get some folks to start cutting those things." Because we're not paying $66 billion to replace paper, But at any rate, so we have tried several efforts, and we're going to try one more time. I know y'all probably heard from Blake Tillery that's here earlier, and Greg Dolezal, who was here earlier. But we are going to bring those bills back, and the House has been sitting on some bills that we've had that included paper. Look, we've made this so much more complicated than what it should be. I mean, really. It should be as simple as paper ballots, a way to reconcile at the end of the day how many votes you had come in and how many votes are counted. It's really not that hard, folks. But we've made it very difficult, and we tried to make it very difficult because you've had a Secretary of State's office has been non-compliant. You've had an Attorney General's office who's the only one that had the jurisdiction to do anything about it. And all they both worry about is getting a promotion, you know. I saw the Attorney General the other day, and he's wearing this hat that says, "Make crime illegal again." I was like, "You've been the Attorney General for a decade, son. Make crime illegal again. You're the Attorney General. What are you talking about?" So I got these guys that are running against me right now. All right, look, for those who don't know me, I'm Burt Jones. I'm a small business owner down in Jackson, Georgia. Born and raised in Jackson, Georgia. Married my high school sweetheart after we got done. Well, she went out to SMU. I went to University of Georgia and played a little football there. Everybody asked me, "That's wonderful. Go Dogs," right? Yeah. Yeah, we weren't that good back then when I was playing, you know, but that was the only reason why I was successful. We weren't that good. But at any rate, went back there and married with 2 kids, 2 teenagers. We thought we were great parents until we had teenagers. And then I got elected to the state senate, served there, then as lieutenant governor. And that is, I've always concentrated on what I can feel like are kitchen table issues: taxes, lowering taxes, getting rid of regulations, being tough on crime, tough with promoting public safety, educational opportunity, workforce development through our high schools as well as our technical colleges. And also, I'm the only person who's willing to take on DEI too. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. The university system, and I know I don't have much time right now, but you're just going to have to, if y'all get done before me, y'all can go ahead and leave. So, but on the DEI, the university system told me, they were like, "It's going to take a while for us to unwind this thing. We've got about $70 million invested in DEI right now." And I said, "Oh, really? Well, let me speed it up for you. We'll just take that out of your budget. That's $70 million. So, and we'll take the blame for it, you know." But here's the deal. Let me just tell you the difference. I've got a bunch of folks who are running against me, and I call them the never Trumper crowd, you know, because that's exactly what they've been. Every one of them have something in common, and though they've all sued me. They've all sued me. They've sued me for raising money. They've sued me for spending money. They'll probably have lawsuits waiting on me when I walk out of here for talking to y'all. But they've all sued me, and they've all sued me because I am the person who is always. I've been attacked from the left. I've been attacked from the right. I told you about how I've been attacked from the left. The millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars are being spent against me on the right. I got these guys all trying to act like there's something they're not. You know, just run as who you are. Don't run as who you are. If you're a guy who supported Jeb Bush, Nikki Haley, you know, Liz Cheney, Jeff Duncan, own it. Own it. Just be who you are. And then for the Attorney General and the Secretary of State, you know, be who you are, you know. Run on it. It's not going to do you very well in the Republican primary if people are really honest, right? So I'm the only person, number one, born and raised in the state of Georgia. Go Dogs. Hallelujah. By the grace. So one guy was born in Michigan. The other guy was born in Toronto, Canada. Trump would call that a foreign national. He wants to be our governor, right? And we got the billionaire. I don't know much about him personally, you know, but anyways, he's been involved in politics a long time. He's been paying off politicians for 2 decades. That's the reason why he has a lot of state and federal contracts. But anyways, here's the deal. Here's the deal. You'll have a simple choice here. You'll have a choice between somebody who has a business background, owns a business, runs a business, also has the legislative background, and has illustrated the way to get things done, the way that things that we care about getting them done. Got a track record of that, right? These other guys talk about it. That's it. These other guys, some of them have been in public service. They've talked about it because we didn't see them do anything, right? And then the third one here, the business guy, outsider, he's the ultimate insider. And like I said, all you can do is judge people by what they've done in the past. Bankrolling Jeb Bush, bankrolling Nikki Haley, bankrolling Liz Cheney, and Jeff Duncan doesn't sound real Trump-ish, does it? That doesn't sound like a MAGA guy to me, does it? But anyways, but I am the only person in this race that has a business background, has a legislative background, is endorsed by President Trump, is endorsed by Turning Point USA, the Charlie Kirk organization, majority of the sheriffs, majority of the business leaders in the state. All of those guys running for lieutenant governor have endorsed me because I've all served with every one of them. And and every one of them like, man, Burt, you made it look so easy. I was like, it is easy when you just do the right thing and be honest with folks and upfront about what you can do and what you can't do. It's not that hard, people. It's not that hard. There's plenty of people in here that could be the governor, the next governor of the state. It's not that difficult. It just comes down to common sense. It comes down to doing the right thing. It comes down to being honest with the voters about what it is you want to do to take this state forward. This election is very important, and I'm going to be done. I know he's telling me to stop. This election is so important. This is a job interview right now, ladies and gentlemen, for all these different positions, but mainly for the U.S. Senate and the governor's race, because the Democratic Party is going to come into the state of Georgia. They're going to spend close to $1 billion trying to retain a U.S. Senate seat, and they're going to try to flip the governor's seat. And if they do that, it will change the politics and the dynamics of this state from here on out. Because your governor, whoever he or she might be, has 4,000 appointments. That's over your ports, that's over your university systems, that's over your technical colleges, that's over your Department of Revenue, your DOT, all these things that touches everything that we do day in and day out. So you need to think long and hard. Who do you want as your next governor? You want somebody who you know who they are, proven leader, might not agree with them on 100% of the things, but you agree with him on 95%. You know he's pretty consistent. He's not a show horse. He's kind of a workhorse. I don't get on Twitter and say, yay, look at me, what I did. I just get it done. Or you want some unprovens, because that's what you're up against. You got some untested, unproven, in some cases, absolutely just fabricated personalities that are running right now. I think I'm your best choice for governor. I hope you do too, and I'd love to have y'all's vote. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. All right. Thank you, Burt Jones.